Want to watch that Michael Jackson thing?
Can you imagine being that famous? That your normal life is not
Over.
You just stay in your house.
They set this up for him to go grocery shopping. They emptied a grocery store and paid people to be shoppers so he could have the experience of what it's like to be normal and like have interactions with people like that.
Where's your card? That one right there. What? Oh.
Is there a problem here?
Where's my card?
Hey, Segovia. Back with another video. Hope everyone out there is having a good day. I hope you guys got an hour. You got an hour for your boy Segovia? We got an hour banger we're going to get into today. Y'all just remember, before we get into it, these are for entertainment purposes only. Don't believe everything you see in these videos. And if you don't agree with what I say, it's okay, y'all. Sometimes I don't agree with what y'all say. But we're all family, y'all. That's what makes the world go round. Not everyone's going to agree with your point of view, and not everybody's going to agree with my point of view. But that's okay, y'all. Keep the discussions in the chat nice and clean. But anyways, y'all, I ain't gonna talk too much. Let's get into the reaction. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Different levels have different extraterrestrial beings. Like, they're not imprisoned there. They're just walking around.
Oh, really?
Like, they're working with the governments, which is really fascinating. Yeah.
Watch this demon manifest at the name of Jesus.
Be whole now. I command all lingering pain to get out right now in Jesus' mighty name. Be completely healed in Jesus' name. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, Lord. Continued work. It's what? A blessing. Yeah. Amen.
What are you coming at me for? Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. What are you coming at me? Do it.
I wouldn't be surprised if that man was an angel. Psalms 91 says, "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone."
How many women have gone through buds?
0.
Don't say that. Women are going to feel like you're a sexist. You should lie.
I'm not sure. I've met more than enough females that are Apache pilots, fighter pilots, badass EOD chicks, which is explosive ordnance, like Hurt Locker, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's some bad women in the military.
Yes.
They want no part of that job. I haven't met one that's like, I wish I could be a Navy SEAL. And that's not shitting on them. They just don't want that job.
Why is that?
You'd have to ask them.
I was born on the 13th. I turned 13 on Friday the 13th. My first album went gold in the US in 13 weeks. Every time I've won an award at an award show, I've been seated in row M, which is the 13th letter, or like the 13th seat, or the 13th row, or the 13th section. It's really a good number.
13 is a good number now, isn't it, Tay-Tay? So the question remains, is T. Swift an actual witch? Now, this is Miss Zena LaVey. Don't even get me started on her. Daughter of Anton LaVey, Church of Satan, all that stuff. Anyways, so I was watching one of Taylor's concerts for research purposes only. And if you notice right here, that's her in the middle. And look at that. That's 13 people, if I can count correctly. They're running around in circles with little glow-in-the-dark lanterns, and it's just kind of weird, you know, playing different music and whatnot. Real quick, what do y'all think about her? Do you think she's a witch too? Nothing very interesting about this 13 significance with witches, right? The idea that a coven of witches is 13, it may be a parody of Jesus, so she's mocking God is what's going on, right?
Of course, God. Without God, none of this would be possible.
So is it just me, or did it look like she was shaking her head because the girl thanked everybody else and she's like, yay, she's clapping, and as soon as she said God, what's up with that, Taylor, huh? The number 13 is associated with the betrayal of Jesus. So, Taylor, I just have a question. Are you against God and Jesus and all that? I mean, I know that's not you. That's Miss Zena LaVey. Let's do this right here. That's not you. We know. I'm just wondering, man, what's really going on and why? What's really going on? How about answering, man? I really would appreciate it.
See, it's funny how these celebrities like go on things and they get asked questions about the Illuminati, and they're like, these people are crazy. They're saying I was born on the 13th and all this connected to this. She just said it, that they pay attention to those numbers. They do it strategically, right? 13th row with the Grammys every year, born on the 13th. That just tells you right there that all these numbers that coincide with the Freemasonry and all that, they're facts, and they know it.
One of the reasons Barack Obama was made president is so he could normalize the LGBTQ agenda in the black community. Think about it. If George Bush tried to push homosexuality in the black community, we would have rejected him.
Of course.
If Donald Trump tried to push homosexuality in the black community, we would have rejected him.
Of course.
You could only normalize that through a black face. Obama was made president to make it normal. When Barack Obama became president, homosexuality was not a mainstream issue, nor was it accepted as a mainstream alternative to the traditional family. By the time he left office in 2008, they were completely running everything.
That was
and
not
if
the
you
year?
even disagreed with, I'm gonna give you an example.
It is.
I do a lot of graduation speeches, right? At the June.
Okay.
Elementary school, middle school, high school. I normally do about 20 graduation speeches a season.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
When Barack Obama was president, I might have did 5. It dropped significantly. Schools who I normally did their commencement, they was calling me up, Dr. Umar, we can't have you speak this year. Why? The LGBTQ say you don't agree with them, you can't speak. I said, but this is a graduation speech. This ain't politics. This is motivation. Get ready for the rest of your life. What does LGBT got to do with my 10-minute speech motivating these 12th graders to make sure you do well in college? Well, we have LGBT teachers and they saying you're insensitive and you're homophobic. So I saw how not agreeing with the lifestyle could limit your opportunities in life. You had people getting fired from jobs, not for pushing hate, because I don't agree with hate. I don't agree with the lifestyle. But I don't want harm for any human, no matter what their situation is.
That's the way to do it.
But the way that they did it was the LGBTQ said, to disagree with me is to hate me. They created a narrative that if you disagree, you support violence against me. You don't want us to work. You want us to be shot, killed, made. We never said that.
That's ridiculous.
We just said we don't agree with the lifestyle. But they turned it into a whole campaign against anybody who disagreed with it. And that's another reason why a lot of people didn't vote for Kamala Harris, black men, because they got tired of the effeminization. And then they took it to Africa. Obama started it. He went to Africa. He went to Liberia. He went to Rwanda, a couple other places. He said, if you don't legalize gay marriage, we cutting off your aid.
Did you hear Trump's plan for the homeless?
Tent city?
Tent cities.
Yeah.
Where?
He's going to make it illegal to...
That's what they do now. Maybe right in L.A.?
No.
Nuh-uh.
Trump is going to make it illegal for you to camp out in town, and he's going to set up his own tent city where there's doctors and law enforcement over there, and that's where all the homeless have to go, to the tent city. I don't know where over there is, but I hope it's far enough that you can't smell it.
So
the scary... Have you guys seen the show The Wire on HBO? They kind of did that, but they did they blocked off a city of abandoned buildings and they let the homeless go there, the drugs, everything was legal. You can sell drugs, but you can't do no violence. You do violence, we're going to come here and shut it down. But you're free to sell drugs, you're free to use drugs, you're free to, do all that. And they had law enforcement there watching. They had medical people in there giving them needles and doing all these things. Like they did that in The Wire, y'all, and it didn't turn out good.
Isn't that this is real, which is very real, the first fleshly android being powered by artificial intelligence. The scary part is this, what we see now, they have had for a very, very long time. And you know how they say that 50% of the people living on this earth don't have an internal monologue, like they're NPCs? Do y'all really think that they aren't using these things today? I don't think people understand that we're living in a world where half the things that we see aren't real, at least the way that we think they're real. And speaking of this artificial intelligence, where did they get this intelligence from? This behind me is not the moon, it's the sun. You remember in April when we had that crazy eclipse? That was weird for so many reasons, like, the positioning of the sun and the moon. Well, right around that time frame is when we had this drastic change in artificial intelligence and AGI. And we know we had AI before that, but when it happened, it was a dramatic shift. Well, did you know that there's a lot of people that say that when that whole thing happened, there is a massive deal that transpired. And when that happened, we were given technology that we cannot control. So I guess my main question is, what exactly will this be used for? And if already, which I believe it is, what is it being used for right now?
I heard the craziest thing recently about the president of France.
What's happening with the president of France?
Candace Owens has been doing this online where she has been researching the president of France and I guess his family for, I don't know if it's been a couple years now or a year now. She's been doing extensive research on these people. What she's saying is this: the president of France, he is actually not married to a woman. His wife is actually a man who also so happens to be his father.
What?
When Candace was searching and she was doing all this stuff, there was even a news article from the 70s about the president's dad that pretty much said one day he randomly just disappeared for a while and he came back and he looked different. There are no images of his wife.
What is that?
Not even just that, when she was a kid. Candace went as far as to start even interviewing people that supposedly went to the schools
That she
she said she went to. All of the kids at the schools that grew up said, we don't even know who that is.
Wow.
So basically what the theory is, these people are freaking insane, and the father decided to transition and became a woman, and he fell in love with his son, and they pretty much got married, and now they're together for real.
Really?
I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna show you a picture of his father when he was younger and a picture of his wife right now.
Yeah, bro.
Mike.
Dude, no, this is actually insane.
Come on, bro.
So you think he knows that's his dad?
He knows it's his dad. That's what people are saying. It's fucking weird.
They say, oh, well, we'll give you $5,000. Well, fuck, bro. I've been paying taxes for the last 20 years and they've been getting stolen and squandered. How do you make it right? Well, you would have to trace all of the money into the assets, seize the assets, liquidate the assets, and redistribute the money back to the people that paid it. It's probably not going to happen. That's a big problem for me. The elimination of the IRS completely. The elimination of property tax completely. Those things have to happen, dude. It's not okay that people who work their whole lives to own their house still got to pay tax every year to own it. These are squeezes on the American people that clearly serve no real outcome that benefits us. The fact that these taxes actually exist at all is evidence of the intent to control and financially press our citizenship.
There's a study.
All my Texans out there, can you imagine no property taxes? My house payment would drop in half if we didn't have property taxes.
Shows that sleeping in a room with very low levels of light for a single night, the next day, more insulin resistance, higher levels of blood glucose, fasting, lower heart rate variability, or HRV, which is a measure of your nervous system.
Lower HRV is bad though, right?
Yeah, you need to sleep in a pitch black room. Even very low levels of light are harming your metabolic function.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
So a lot of people will sleep with the TV on or they have night lights on. Like, it's really bad news from a metabolic health standpoint. It's literally creating insulin resistance overnight. And imagine if you do that every day. Now you're literally setting yourself up for having poor metabolic health every single morning.
It's just too much, y'all. Do you guys sleep? I don't sleep. Well, now that we have the baby, I have a little night light on so we can see if he spit up or whatnot. But I know, like, when I was single and alone, I used to sleep with the windows cracked, the blinds, because in the morning I like the sunshine to come in, to wake me up. I never slept in pitch dark. When I was younger, I needed pitch dark. I needed the blinds, the curtains, pitch dark. But now that I'm older, I like a little bit of light to come in. How do you guys sleep? Do you like pitch dark, foil on the windows, and a blackout curtain, or do you guys like a little sunshine to creep through in the morning?
The old cartoon, The Jetsons, George Jetson. What was being portrayed in the early 60s there, that technology existed at that time. It literally existed. It was a cartoon, but it actually was stuff that we had. Because we mastered the technologies between 1945 and 54. Everyone has been sold sort of a mythology and been kept in an information blackout for 70, 80 years. So how do you catch up for 70 or 80 years of lies and brainwashing and disinformation? It's hard, but we don't have 70 or 80 more years to fritter away. Here's the problem. 10 years, 20, 50, 100, 1,000 years from now, what is this planet going to look like when we disclose finally this information, and with it the energy technologies that would give us a completely different planet? So go look at the cartoon, flying around, these things. I mean, of course it's a comedy, a cartoon, but that actually could have been in the 60s.
It's so hard not to believe in coincidences when these things keep happening. The Pope in critical condition with pneumonia, and he's already obviously really old. I say that to say there is a prophecy, and I use air quotes because I don't think that the person who wrote it was an actual prophet. However, the odds of this happening is kind of staggering. It doesn't make any sense, but there is a prophecy about the Pope and about the last Pope, and ironically, that the last Pope would be now as it is written in the book. And so if Pope Francis happens to not make it through having his pneumonia, the prophecy says that he is the last Pope. Now, what does that mean for the world? Well, if the prophecy is correct, then this whole system of the papacy will probably cease to exist, and it'll probably be replaced by someone and something else, which makes a lot of sense because of the book of Revelation and all of the things that have to happen as far as the Antichrist and the beast system rising. If this happens, that literally makes another pathway out of the hundreds of pathways that leads to the beast system in the Antichrist. You can't just, at this point, you can't just toss it up and chalk it up to, at this point, you can't just chalk it up to coincidence. All these things are very weird.
My boy, my twin brother here, said he want to get some singing lessons from the boy. So we're going to start with You Got It Bad. Ladies say I'm your man, you're my girl. I'm going to tell it to the whole wide world. Ladies say I'm your girl. What else? You're my man. Promise to love you the best I can.
You ever went to McDonald's like 3, 4 in the mornings and they'll tell you like, oh, our system is rebooting. The system have to reset from the regular menu to breakfast. When it's switching over, they can't accept any payments. So what we used to do at our store, we used to take the payments manually. So we used to ask them what they want, write it down, do the math on how much it costs, and tell the cooks to make this, make this, make that, make that. They go and make it, put it in the bag it up, get the money. Listen, the total is this much. They give you the money, they give you a calculator, put how much they gave you, how much change they supposed to get back. So only cash at the time, give them the change. So what I used to do sometimes, I used to get they order, tell the cook to make the cook, and only put that he wanted 2 items instead of the 5 items. And I would do the math on it, sever left, pocket it, give them they change. Nobody knew.
No, I went to Sonic one night a while back, right? It wasn't even that late. It was probably like 10 o'clock, right? They closed at like midnight. I went there and they're like, we're not taking cards no more. We're only taking cash. That's what they were doing, y'all. Taking that money, putting this and this in. We sold this, but really sold this, pocketing that. Because who doesn't take cards no more? Like, does a machine? I don't know. You guys work at fast food. You guys might know more than me, but I took it as, and the person I was with even told me that's what they do at night out here is they'll start just taking cash and then boom. But I don't know. Am I wrong? You guys know.
You could live on a cruise ship full-time between $30,000 to $50,000 a year. No worries about rent, homeowners insurance, property taxes, utilities. You live on a ship, and a lot of it is included. You'll get free food, free drinks, you get to travel the world. No worries whatsoever. No fixing leaky roofs, plumbing problems, foundation issues, gardeners. The list goes on. Just live on a cruise ship. Travel. Life is easy.
I kind of wish I would have done that back when I was single, living with my parents, right? Didn't have a care in the world. Maybe after I went, through a divorce, I moved back with my parents. I had some money, not for, ever, but that'd be pretty dope just to try it, for 3 or 4 months. Go travel the world, right? See everything. You get free food, not free alcohol, but you get free, water or whatever. But that would have been kind of interesting, y'all. That would be something I would recommend. Like if you're single at home, you got money piled up, you haven't really traveled, go see the world, y'all. There he is.
Check this out, y'all. Look at this over here. So it's been snowing like this for the past couple of days in Canada, y'all. Just in 4 days alone, Canada has broken the record for the amount of snowfall that they have received in the amount of days. But look at this, y'all. Look at this. Are y'all noticing something with this snow? Check this out, y'all. Just look at the snow. What do y'all see about the snow? Doesn't this type of snow look different? I mean, why does it look like sand? Can you guys see that? This snow looks more like sand to me. And the other thing I'm noticing, this snow looks dry. Y'all get it? I know snow is supposed to be wet, right? But this looks like powder. It looked like powder was just thrown in there, or sand, and then it manifested itself to look like this. Canadians, have y'all ever seen this type of snow? I mean, look at this, y'all. Do you guys see the amount of snow? Oh my goodness, y'all. People are getting lost. Y'all, I don't know what else to say, man. There's too many things that are happening on the planet, y'all. I'm just trying to keep up to show y'all what is happening around the world. Because some people in Canada are saying this is normal, and then other people are saying, hell no, this is not normal. So the Canadians are going to have to duel it out. We're going to leave America out of this. But the shift is here, y'all. Can y'all feel it yet? Let me know that in the comments below, y'all. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get this shit. Peace out.
If you're scared of tight spaces, you may not want to watch this, as this is an emergency evacuation tube for cruise ships, where you have to squeeze into an extremely tight hole, dropping hundreds of feet to safety. This tube is filled with air, creating friction and giving a smoother descent. Would you go down one of these?
A plastic surgeon has finally come forward and explained why we have seen so many different faces of Joe Biden over the years. He says in his professional opinion, he's had at least one, if not two, facelifts. He says that's why his earlobes are different. That's why his mouth is different. That's why the eyebrows are different. And he goes on and on. Now, he wasn't able to give any reason why his hair part changed from going from the left to the right, but that's neither here nor there. Has anyone noticed that we have not seen Joe Biden or Jill Biden at all since Donald Trump took office? Yes, there has been a news report that he has joined a Hollywood talent agency, but other than that, we haven't seen him at all. Not even relaxing on the beach. After both Obama and Trump's presidency, they were at least seen out on the golf course in this period of time. Plastic surgeon believes that he didn't get the best work done, and that's why his features were a little sharp in some areas, but you could always get that redone, and that 50% of his business is redoing other people's work, but at his age, it's not always worth it. But maybe this is the reason why we haven't seen Joe. Maybe he's just getting ready for his new career in Hollywood. Where do you think Joe Biden is? As always, I want to hear what you think about all of this down below.
Guy from the CIA told me that the whole universe is based off sound, light, and frequency. Look that up.
That's deep, because when you think about it, right? Even when they talk about things that we lived, and you read it, it don't match up with us being there.
No, it don't match up. Because it's not suspicious to nobody that, there's one race of people on the planet who seem like they in a rush to always get all the resources for everything.
Right.
Almost like where they came from, it was scarce.
Right.
And whenever they got here, it's a mad dash to get everything. Why are they able to organize themselves so well? How are they able to do this?
Hey.
That's another conversation.
It's another So there's also the conspiracy, right? When they opened up the whole UFO, they say that they think the aliens actually built the pyramids. What do you think about that?
Here's the thing with that. There is evidence of a lost society because there's this glass that they find in the Sahara Desert. It's a green tinted glass that can only be made from nuclear explosion. And I'm finna say something that probably nobody's ever said on the internet. The largest pyramids in Egypt or in Africa are under the sand in the desert. There are pyramids larger than the ones in Giza under the sand.
I believe that.
I was shown LiDAR footage of ground skins.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So then there's people who blatantly trying to hide this.
Right.
Because Luis Elizondo said in his book Imminent, what would you do if you went to go research and discover a pyramid and you found a 747 jet inside of a pyramid? Why would he say that? Why did Bob Lazar say one of the UFOs he worked on at S4 was an archaeological find?
Huh.
How is it that cave paintings show the same depiction of UFOs from 5,000 years ago, and they're showing the same thing today? It's almost as if somebody's operating outside of our timeline. So that means the whole saying through physics that time is linear, everything's happening at one time.
At one time.
That's the proof.
There it is.
This really could be a stage.
Yeah.
And the people who get to the top know it's a stage. So they position themselves a certain way. Because all the rich guys I know, they don't sit and talk to nobody. They don't sit and crack jokes. They don't talk. They not shooting the shit with you. If they do you a favor, it's because they admire that you grind. But they going to do that and then they're gone. They might not respond to your text. They saw it. They not going to sacrifice their time because they know most times you're going to need something from them. They're not going to need nothing from you.
Right.
So these little things, I'm like, man, why is this like this? Why does this guy have such a stoic personality when all this is going on? He may know this is a stage, but he's positioned himself to where, you know, when you see rich guys buying bunkers, that should cause some concern, you know. If every other species on the planet is high-minded for the most part, except for us. You feel me? You know, if I'm watching a billionaire group buying bunkers, me and my friends need to pool our resources to get us a little bunker. You would think that.
Right.
No, nobody's doing that. That's why we got the colony.life, for sure.
I mean, we saw in the movie 2012, the rich and elite, you had to be a Russian billionaire. And you get that call, they know something we don't know. They're ready for that call. They got a secret phone, all that. They get that text message, you need to be here, it's time. That dude dropped everything and he went, right? We saw it in 2012.
Want to watch that Michael Jackson thing?
Can you imagine being that famous? Your normal life is not
over.
You just stay in your house.
They set this up for him to go grocery shopping. They emptied a grocery store and paid people to be shoppers so he could have the experience of what it's like to be normal and like have interactions with people like that.
Where's your card? That one right there. What? Oh. Is there a problem here? Where's my card?
Oh, Jesus, look how weird this is.
Don't you feel bad for him, though?
Oh, yeah, so weird.
You know how much he's worth?
I don't know.
$1.7 billion, they say.
I'm going to take your souls. We have the power. We decide what's hot. If we don't go, nobody goes. If we don't support, nobody supports. We control what's cool. We control what's hot. We control what your kids listen to, what they dance to. We control what's in video games. We control how they wear their pants, sag their pants. We control everything.
The reason that you don't know anything about money is because John D. Rockefeller created the education system. And if you'll recall, he said, I want a nation of workers, not a nation of thinkers. So when he created the education system, he made it a one-to-one model. School is the same as a work day at the factory. That's why you go to your 8-hour shift, 7 to 3, 8 to 4, 9 to 5. Only learning things that make you a better employee. Just like basic math, basic reading and writing, his story, how to stay in line, and how to follow orders. Everything that a good employee should know. Totally neglecting things like teamwork, they call that cheating in school, critical thinking, outside the box problem solving, money management, investing, leadership, sales, communication, tax strategy, and the laws that govern you. And anything else that would be useful in the real world. So what we did is we created our own education system where we learned the things that Rockefeller teaches his kids, like estate planning, tax strategy, trust, insurance, annuities, financial literacy, and privatized banking. So if you want to join our community and learn the strategies that we use, comment the word banker and I'll invite you in.
Like something that's true, y'all. They want you to just be an employee because there's something so basic that is like kindergarten, right? That I know, but I know there's knowledge, like college knowledge, if you guys get what I'm saying, that you can learn at a young age and learn how to become a millionaire in 5 years. Me, I don't know that knowledge, y'all. I know how to become a millionaire at 65, right? It's just a simple put your 401k, your Roth IRA into the S&P 500. Instead, what they tell you is you just put it into a savings account pretty much. But all they have to do is teach you, put it here, and that's how I know they don't want, you know, free thinkers, because everyone, not everyone, people, you know, you have your own choices, you can do what you want, but the majority of the people would retire multi millionaires if they were taught this at a young age, where to put your simple, that's basic math, y'all. Now I know there's collegiate math, if you guys get what I'm saying, on how to do this quicker. I haven't tapped into that. I don't know. If you know, leave me a comment down below, because Segovia needs some more money.
We found out a lot this week on TikTok about what you eat. When I put this video up telling everybody oxtails wasn't real, oh boy, did it go crazy. I had to make a reply video, 2 videos, probably about 50,000 views. The comments was insane. Nobody wanted to believe it. But yeah, they're cowtails. And now they're telling you that your crawfish don't come from the ocean, don't come from the river. They say come out the dirt, out your backyard. I never knew they was called mud bugs either. But, you know, I did think they got caught in the riverbanks, because I seen them in the riverbanks. But the thing is they not swimming in the river, they coming out the mud. I saw a video of a girl. She said that she always knew that they came from the dirt and not the ocean or rivers, because when it rained, they would always come out the ground in her grandmother's backyard. She said all the neighborhood cats, they would come and eat them right out the yard. So, you know, they're mud bugs. That's what they call them. They say roaches with claws, dirt roaches.
I had 2 doctors who were giving me shit about Brecca. They're both at Brecca now.
Wow. I wanted to ask you about that, because it seems like a lot of people give you shit about Brecca. You see online.
Nobody gives me shit.
Well,
people talk shit online, but
they talk shit
people
online.
talk shit online to me about everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is my philosophy about Brecca. You don't like it, fuck, don't use it.
Don't do it.
Take a mouthful of pills every day, put that CPAP on your fat fucking face, and good luck going to sleep.
Yeah,
Good luck to you.
I love that attitude, because I think so many people are like, well, you have to buy this and you have to buy that. But Gary seems to say on every podcast I've seen him on, say, well, you can just walk outside and get the same thing as a red light therapy. You just do this. And he's giving you alternatives as well.
100%. And here's the thing. There's a lot of things that I love about Gary Brecca. One of the first things that I notice about a guy like him is when somebody comes in, first of all, let's start with, I believed in none of this shit. I was a believer in modern medicine. And if you went through COVID and you still believe in modern medicine, you still believe that these people are out and they're looking out for you and care whether you live or die, you're out of your fucking mind, and good luck to you. I wish you all the luck in the world.
Like, there's a lot, not just with that, but like with everything, we overthink things. We overthink things like, I want to get on that diet, but it's going to cause this, you know, in the long run. Like the keto or carnivore, it's going to cause heart disease. Like, people overthink things instead of just saying, what I'm doing now is going to cause heart disease, or I want to go to the gym, but I don't know where to start, or, you know, things like that. Like, just overthinking. Or you watch a video on YouTube and they get too scientific, and, you know, they scare people, or with money, it's too difficult. Like, I don't know what to do. Just do. Just go to the gym and just watch a video on YouTube and learn how to do a bicep curl, or learn how to do a bench press, whatever. Like, a lot of people, me included, when I was first getting started in things, like even with YouTube, I would overthink things. Like, I don't know what camera to use, I don't know what editing to use. Like, I get comments from you guys like, I don't know what, like, just do. Like, you can just use your phone, download iMovie, simple cut, paste, whatever. Like, people overthink things when it's really, really simple. Like, this YouTube stuff is really, really simple, and a lot of people hold back because they overthink things. They think it's just too much. They look at people that have 100 million subscribers and don't realize, like, those people started off using their phone, using the microphone on their phone, like, terrible quality. I wish I had my old YouTube videos so I can repost them so you guys can see, or react to them so you guys can see how terrible my quality was. But over time, you just gain knowledge and gain knowledge and gain knowledge. I'm still gaining knowledge with this YouTube thing. You start getting good microphones, you start getting good lighting in the background, you start getting good lights to make your face, you know what I mean? You just gain knowledge as you go with everything in life. At ground level, it sucks. When you start a new job, You're terrible at it. You're making mistakes. You don't know what you're doing. But by, the first month, you're a professional. You're training people now. So don't overthink things, y'all. Just do. That's crazy.
Let's just say Russia has some of the craziest stories.
Wild.
Some old Earth there. But there's this lake there called Lake Baikal. And it is, I found this out, the deepest freshwater lake on Earth.
How deep?
Over 5,000 feet deep.
That's almost 2 miles.
Maybe. I don't know.
That's crazy. 5,000 feet.
Yes.
How big is it?
It's huge.
Okay.
You should look it up.
It's crazy. You could just be on a boat.
You're going to hate this lake even more.
Good. Let's go. But it's down there.
You're about to find out.
No.
1982.
Okay.
This is a classified document that got released to the public in 2000. Was it 2000? Yeah, 2000. And it was in the Soviet government, like a classified document. So these Soviet divers in 1982 were doing these diving routines or whatever in the lake, in Lake Baikal. And they're down, was it 52 meters or something? 50 meters, 164 feet down. And then all of a sudden, out of the depths, they said there were these 6 humanoid creatures, and they described them as wearing these tight, metallic-looking suits, 9 feet tall, and wearing like these like weird jelly helmets.
So they're just floating in the water.
They just come up as they're they're like here, and they just come up.
Scariest possible thing you could see at that moment, for sure.
And what these divers decided to do, apparently as like a, what the heck is that? They like had a net or something. And so they tried to catch one of them. And then like all these things did something to where it caused this force field and shot all these divers up to the surface, like almost instantly. They all got the bends.
Oh no.
It was 7 divers. 3 of them ended up dying.
Oh my gosh.
And then the rest were basically silenced from ever speaking about what happened.
Why? Because they were so traumatized, or they were
No, it was classified.
Oh, I see.
Like so, like it was like the Soviet Union did not want anyone to know what they saw.
So who was this team? Who like
just these Soviet Navy divers?
They are from the government, the Soviet government.
And they're down there, and these humanoid creatures came up, tried to catch one, and then they just like boom, got shot up to the surface.
That's terrifying. Do you think that's the first time they ever went down there?
No.
I was gonna say, because that seems like a test, almost like,
yeah,
let's send these guys down there.
There's reports even today of craft coming out of the lake, like in orbs and stuff coming out of the lake, and also people constantly disappearing around the lake, which would make sense. It's a huge lake. I mean, ginormous, and it's in Siberia. It's very remote, and it's one of the deepest lakes. It's typically frozen the good majority of the year, but apparently, I think this was a story too from the same lake. Like it's so big that they're actually able to test submarines within it.
Mm-hmm.
And this one submarine on their sonar picked up these objects. I think it was actually 6 objects that were coming towards them at like, they said it was like 400 miles an hour. And so they turned, and it like matched the path of the submarine.
And they're watching it on the screen.
On the sonar. It was like in a formation.
Yeah.
And they're like, go up. And so the submarine breached, right? They came up to the surface, and then they used the, what do you call it? The little
telescope thing?
Yeah. I forget what it's called. The thing that they look out to see the surface. And these things just popped up out of the water and just shot off in the distance.
Wait, you're telling me there are fake towns in the middle of the Atlantic?
Yeah, listen to this.
There's an island called Halcyon Ridge, completely hidden from the outside world, controlled by a private organization called Vanguard Initiative. Decades ago, they bought the island and turned it into one massive, twisted experiment. They built towns straight out of a 1950s postcard, perfect houses, white picket fences, happy neighbors, but it's all a lie.
The people living there?
They were either orphans raised in total isolation or, get this, grown from embryos in secret labs. From birth, they were brainwashed to believe that a global disaster wiped out the rest of the world. As far as they know, Halcyon Ridge is the only safe place left on Earth. If someone starts asking too many questions, Vanguard Initiative steps in fast, either reprogramming them or making them disappear altogether. And just so we're clear, this is all for entertainment purposes, right?
I don't get it. How does the brain remember that I forgot, but can't remember what I forgot? I really be thinking like that, and it really pisses me off.
Why are you standing like
There's
that?
a rumor going around that Diddy has been charged with necromancy. And like I said, it's just a rumor, so technically I can't say if it's true or not. But if you know what they do in Hollywood, you would be able to come to a reasonable conclusion. If you don't know what necromancy is, basically it has to do with witchcraft involving those who have passed on to the next life, those who are in graveyards, things like that. I've heard some wild stories about those who practice necromancy, and one of those stories even comes from someone in my family. And so this stuff is very real. I know a lot of you guys won't believe it, but if you are tuned into the spiritual realm, if you read your Bible and you're familiar with scripture, you know this stuff definitely exists. So whether this allegation is true or not, I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Sean Combs here was involved in necromancy, because I know for them to be in Hollywood, to be involved in a lot more sinister practices. If you haven't caught on by now, the things that they get into over in that echelon of the world, I mean, you're innocent. You know, you have an innocent mind, thank God, in a sense. But at the same time, you're a little bit ignorant. And maybe you should do some research. Maybe you should really open your eyes and look into it, because we live in an evil world. And it's a world of angels and demons, a world of those who fight for the light and those who fight for darkness.
Why am I hearing that the third temple in Jerusalem is being built? I need somebody to confirm this, because if this is true, do y'all know how deep this is? This just ain't no regular shit. This is about power, about control, the kind of moves that can shift the whole world. For centuries, people been talking about, before Messiah can come back, the third temple gotta be built. So that'll be crazy that they're building the third temple right now. But here's where it get crazy, because before that happens, a lot of people believe the Antichrist gotta step in first. Now, I want y'all to think about it for a second. Why is Jerusalem always the center of everything? Why is the US so involved? And why are wars being fought over this land? A lot of people say this was a plot for the longest time, and it's being run by the elites. And it's not just talks. You got groups actively preparing for the temple to be rebuilt right now. Ritual objects is already made. Priestly garments ready to go too. Some people even say that the Vatican got hidden artifacts locked away, waiting for the right moment to reveal it. So here's the real question. When the temple is built, who's going to sit in it? Is this a step towards salvation or global control? Because prophecy said the Antichrist is going to show up and sit in that temple and fool the whole world. So this ain't just history, and this ain't just religion. This is the biggest power move in the making. And best believe, when this happen, the world ain't gonna be the same at all. Y'all stay woke.
Did you do all the covers of all your albums? No, only this one. Oh, it's really good. Oh, thanks. Really good.
We love your art,
He's
baby.
an artist.
Oh, art is we love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, well, we have some pizza to make. Yes. Yeah, don't put it there because that's your pizza.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought we were making pretzels.
Oh yeah, you can make a pretzel if you wish, but put a little bit of olive oil on your cookie sheet, and then without breaking the dough, flatten it out to fill the entire tray.
Look, Martha, I know how to make dough. You ain't got to tell me how to make dough. I've been making dough for a long time.
He knows how to make dough. He knows how to grow grass. He knows how to do all kinds of stuff.
I actually worked at a pizza restaurant.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what'd you make?
I made the dough.
Yeah.
And then I made the pizza.
Yeah.
The hard part was I dropped out of high school, and so I got this job at the pizza place. So all the kids used to come over, all my friends used to come over, and I used to give them pizza during lunchtime at school.
Oh, so you
was the pizza man.
You broke the restaurant's profitability,
That's
right?
it. No, I didn't mind. I didn't mind.
Well, no, that's good.
Pizza man, $2 bill.
That's
I
right.
like that.
Did y'all know that 4 days ago in New York, there was a big ass strike where a bunch of COs walked off the job? Bear Hill, Lakeview, a couple of other prisons are now being ran by the National Guard. Do you hear me? People weren't able to get visits, weren't able to get commissary. There was a point in time they weren't able to eat. You understand me? They just locked them in their cells, left the day room open, unlocked, left the bathroom unlocked, and locked up everything else, and left them men at that prison alone to fend for themselves. I can't believe this shit.
Video that was surfacing throughout the internet and shit, and it was about a Jinn who had interrupted a conversation on live TV.
Oh, fuck, okay.
So, live show where people call in and basically just ask questions and stuff. But this specific show is a Muslim show.
So it's not related to no spiritual stuff or no like scary stuff.
It's mainly focused on Islam, Muslim beliefs and stuff. And people call in to speak to the sheikh.
Okay.
I don't really know how to pronounce it. And his name is Abu Muhammad. A woman calls. At first, it's a regular like conversation and shit. But then stuff starts getting weird.
Allah's name on the left leg. Also,
on the edge right now.
Just keep watching.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا. Give her the power to continue her speech, Ya Allah.
The visa, one for under my pillow,
Oh
one
my
to carry
God,
with
bro.
me.
Who created you and why? Huh?
She ended up saying Bat.
Baal? B-A-A-L? The fucking demon?
What they're saying that was a Jinn, which it's not a demon, it's not an angel or anything like that. It's just another spirit that could choose whether it wants to be evil or whether it wants to do good.
So how many people listen to that Robert Malone show?
Who knows? Hundreds of millions, probably. I think the biggest one we probably ever did was Bob Lazar. You know who Bob Lazar is? Bob Lazar is the guy that in 1989, he did an interview with George Knapp in Las Vegas, and he said he was working back engineering UFOs for the government. And he has this crazy fucking story about working at Area S4, Site 4, and Area 51 in the Nevada desert, which at that point in time, the government would deny that Area 51 even existed. And he's like, no, I work out there. And I was working back engineering propulsion systems from crashed UFOs. And he's explaining how these things work and explaining how it's some sort of a gravity propulsion device that works completely different than any propulsion device that we've ever devised, and that they're trying to back engineer them. They don't know how to do it, so they keep bringing in new propulsion experts. They're essentially throwing as much shit against the wall as possible, trying to see what sticks. Like, can you figure this out? And they're bringing in new people, and he was one of the people they brought in. And when you have top secret clearance, what happens is they tap all your phones, they listen to you all the time. Well, he had this job where he couldn't tell his wife what he was doing. So he would get this phone call saying that he has to fly out to Area 51 at like 11 p.m. So he would go to the airport, fly out, and his wife was like, this motherfucker's cheating on me. So she starts fucking her flight instructor. She's got some flight instructor. And so because his wife was having an affair and they knew it from the phone calls, they thought that he was going to be emotionally unstable. So they removed him from the project.
Hey, did you guys hear about this, y'all? So apparently there's this new trend that's going around, and I'm specifically hearing about this in Florida. So apparently people are undergoing anesthesia to receive what they're calling a marathon of tattoo sessions. If you look closely, you can clearly see his body spasming from this session, y'all. Look at that. So what do you guys think of this? And why is even anesthesia available for this type of thing? Like, shouldn't you be able to make it through the pain? That's what it's for. This is a lot of trauma for the body. The body is not meant to handle this, especially if you're sleeping through it. this is too much going on for the body all at once. Like, there's probably gonna be some repercussions to this. Like, I don't even know why the tattoo artist would agree. So there's been studies done that tattoos are extremely toxic to the human body, and as soon as it touches the epidermis layer of your skin, your white blood cells actually tries to fight them off, y'all. It's literally trying to fight the ink as it come in extremely fast because it recognizes it as a foreign substance. So ink, specifically black ink, has been found to have metals like lead, cadmium, chromium, and nickel, and all of those are toxic to the human body. So yes, he could be code right here, but it could also be him reacting to all those metals as well. What y'all think about that? Would you ever do something like that? And again, why is that even available? Like, what kind of doctor? I guess it's all about money, right? That's what it's all about. You follow the money. It's always going to lead you to the money. But let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, follow, and share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get this shift, y'all. Peace in.
So technology continues to advance at the rapid rate. The Robotics and AI Institute has developed the Ultra Mobility Vehicle, also known as a UMV, which is a self-balancing robotic bike that's capable of navigating challenging terrain and even jumping into high surfaces. Now, it's using AI to develop this thing called reinforcement learning, which is playing a key role in the ability for these robots to adapt to complex situations and perform better. Unlike regular self-balancing bikes, this UMV does not use a gyroscope for stability. Instead, it moves like a regular bicycle, and it steers with its front wheel while shifting a weighted top section up and down to maintain balance. The reinforcement learning allows it to learn movements that would be difficult to achieve with conventional control methods. Now, the only real challenge right now is riding in reverse or riding backwards, because that's really highly unstable right now, especially if it's on uneven ground.
Am I tripping, or is there a car in the sky?
It does look like a car. Probably
Oh, I know everybody's seen this movie, right? Leave the World Behind. If you haven't, go watch it. I feel like this movie is predictive programming at its finest. We all know what's been going on with these airplanes, right? Like, they falling out of the sky, or just some crazy shit happening. It's crashing, or just people be like, oh, the plane was malfunctioning. Then it's a scene on this movie right here that I'm about to show you, where all these Teslas were driving itself, and they all end up going different streets and shit, and they start crashing, y'all. Now, fast forward now, look at this clip with these Teslas driving itself. Look at this shit, y'all. So in the movie, the cars were doing just like this. They were driving itself. So let's just say, for instance, that these cars wanted to stop people from going down certain roads. It can do this, and they can crash into each other so nobody can go anywhere. Nobody be thinking about
Corey, this one will freak you out. Okay. So the story goes, this guy is pig hunting and he's using a thermal scope. He's been on this field all night, hasn't seen anything move. He's like, you know what? I'm going to get up from this tree. He's like on some brush, and he's like, I'm going to go across the field. And he's sitting there for a while, and then out of nowhere, a little blob shows up. He's like, here we go. The pigs are coming in. He's locked in. He's ready, for the thing to show itself. But then it gets up, and he realizes that this infrared blob is humanoid. And he said it appears to look like a naked human. Goes over to the tree that he was just sitting against and starts checking it out or sniffing it. And the guy is across the field just going like, I don't understand what I'm looking at. Then the thing is on all fours, postures up like it's about to howl, and then in a woman's voice goes, help!
Oh gosh.
Help! Continues to do it. The dude fires one way over the top of this thing's head, and then it goes, I'm injured, help! And then he sends another one. It runs, and he sends a couple, and he's like, it ran away from where my truck is, goes back to his truck, never goes in that field again.
Yeah, no.
I hate that so much.
Said it was a naked humanoid, crawled up and was sniffing the tree the dude was just sitting on. It had been stalking him.
In the middle of the night?
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's pretty real, doesn't it? Dude, Masks are getting unbelievably good, and this is probably just one off the internet. Imagine what somebody doing it seriously could do. On one hand, it's good for the ugly folks that want to, get a little
Catfish
action
to a
before
whole
they're
new
found
level.
out. But on the other hand, it's not good because people could literally make a mask of you, rob a bank, disappear, take off the mask, and now you're wanted for freaking bank robbery. Getting scary out there, kids. Keep it safe.
I want to show you guys something. So this is ice frozen with tap water, okay? We're gonna empty this and I'm gonna fill it with spring water. And we're gonna see what that looks like when we freeze it. This is not normal. This is not normal ice, and this has been happening for a while. This is not normal. Let me show you what normal is. You guys remember normal, right? All right, natural spring water. Okay. Now look how smooth the spring water is. Look how smooth. Is that not insane? You know why? Because of the chemicals in the tap water. The tap water freezing is showing you the chemicals. I don't make ice with tap water anymore. I did another one. What the hell is that?
Like, why post that?
I
It's
have no
weird.
words.
Here's what's crazy is what I think, dude. I think if the whole world knew who was on the list for real, no. Our whole, not mine, not the prepared and the smart, but the frickin' sheep and the dip the world would crumble. They wouldn't know what to do because all of their heroes and all of their idols are now destroyed. And guess what? Those idols and those heroes were created. Created by whom? They're created by the same people who don't want the list released. Why? Because Beck, if I was on that list, I don't want it released. Under any circumstance do I want my public name released. So under any circumstances, and I'm talking wink, wink, any circumstances, you are not releasing that list.
Do you guys really think the world would crumble? Do you think? I don't. I think nothing will happen. Like I said in the beginning, if you don't agree with what I say, don't unsubscribe. If you want to unsubscribe, go ahead. But I'm just saying, I don't think anything would happen. I don't. I mean, there's big scandals that happen, like the Harvey Weinstein thing. All these celebrities that they had to do, what, to get on that movie. Nobody cared. People still went and watched the movie. The R. Kelly thing, we've known about that. People still went to his concerts. Scandals, in the Catholic Church, things that happen with kids and whatnot. People still do what they worship, whatever. Things like this happen all the time. Things get exposed and, JFK files released. There's more than one shooter. Anybody care? No. I don't think people are going to care, y'all. I really don't. There might be some people that not lose their mind, but they're going to be like, well, I ain't going to worship these celebrities no more. Like how we don't worship these celebrities because we know. I think it'll be more of that. But people ain't gonna go and freaking start, offing themselves over that. People ain't. People are busy, y'all. The everyday person, we're busy. We got kids, we got a job, we got bills. We don't. If a politician was over there on an island doing God knows what, shame on him. But life goes on, y'all. That's truly what I think. I don't think people ain't gonna lose their mind and rioting in the streets and all that. The reason they're not releasing it is because the people that are on there, they don't want it exposed. But everyday people out there that are asleep and all that, they ain't gonna lose their mind, y'all. Life goes on. We're busy, y'all. Entertainment purposes only, y'all. Don't hate me for my comments. Don't hate me for what I think, y'all. I don't hate you guys for what you think. I love you guys. What you eat don't make me you know what I mean? That think they're awake.
What's this? Ain't that how Jay-Z look right now? This is how Jay-Z looks right now. That's how Jay-Z look right now. But look how old he was on this picture though when he had the shirt on. How? You don't believe magic is real? You don't believe warlocks is real? How? Yeah, that's supposed to be Basquiat. I know who it's supposed to be. But how does Jay-Z wear his shirt? How does Jay-Z wear his hair now? I know who they told you it was supposed to be, but that's who they wanted you to think it was. No, that was him depicting himself. They wanted you to think it was Basquiat. No. How you think he ended up, why does he look exactly like that right now then? Look how old he was when he had his shirt on though. But you don't believe magic is real though. You don't believe warlocks exist. I'm gonna open y'all eyes up to this world that's hitting in front of your face. Check this out. Let's go to some late Jay-Z lyrics. Oh, nobody wins when a family feud. Jay-Z said itself. He said, Super Bowls. My wife in the crib feeding the kids liquid gold. We in a whole different mode. Kid that used to pitch bricks can't be pigeonholed. I cooked up more chicken when the kitchen closed. Oh, we gonna reach a Billy first. I told my wife the spiritual shit really work. Pay attention. What you think he talking about, man? Look.
Wouldn't it be crazy if the American government took out a Rolling Stone journalist by hacking into his car, his Mercedes, and slamming it into a tree? And wouldn't it be crazy if Michael Hastings had worked on numerous stories which had explosive repercussions for the Obama administration. Some of Hastings' work included an article which forced NATO General Stanley McChrystal to resign from his seat due to the massive contempt he was showing Afghanistan locals, among other things. He also exposed how the U.S. military was using PSYOPs on its own congressmen when they visited war zones. And wouldn't it be crazy if the story he was working on at the time of his death involved CIA Director John Brennan? And wouldn't it be crazy if the night of his death he contacted WikiLeaks? Witness testimony says Hastings' Mercedes sped up out of nowhere right into a tree, and they could not approach it because it kept exploding. I'm a great driver, for the record.
Hi.
Yeah, Shane's gotta go.
How are you? Do you have your ID with you?
I don't.
What's your name?
Irene.
Irene. What's your last name, Irene?
Bajard Wilson.
Can you spell that for me?
Big Disney princess, just so you know.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
I'm the voice of Pocahontas.
Really?
Yeah, you're gonna find me in your thing right now.
Why would I do that?
Because I am a 53-year-old Native American woman who has had enough. That's it.
It's your cell phone.
I don't know what that is.
Stop.
I don't know what that is.
I was fucking at 11. I had Nate at 15, nigga. I had my daughter when I was 15, nigga. It ain't cause you a male, it ain't cause you 15, you supposed to, cause you're young money. You're supposed to. I got raped at 11, Twist. And I loved it. I ain't never pressed charges. I'ma do you like baby them did me. Yeah. I'll never forget that day. Yeah, no, they was all in the kitchen. I was scared. It was cool. There was about this many niggas and shit too in that bit. I never forget the word. Suck la wine, let I was sitting on the couch. Everybody in that bit. That nigga was like talking. Suck la wine, let I ain't never had this happen.
But yes, man.
And press the G. Oh my God, that was the best ever, boy. I walked out that bitch. I felt like I killed 5 niggas, ran through 3 banks. I was a different man after that. I was Lil Wayne.
Why does not America look like Dubai and Germany? And why doesn't America look like Russia and Persia? And where the is the money going? There should be grapes, turnips, vegetables, everything on the streets every day for the homeless to eat. You're making us pay for water, you son of a...
All right, family. There you have today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, leave a like, comment, subscribe. You know how to do. Segovia has been on the grind, y'all. I've been running. Yesterday was the first run. Of course, it kicked my ass. Right? I was dying, but I felt like I did in Arizona. The feeling I felt after that run, I was like, I can't wait to go. And guess what? I can't wait to go tonight. I like going in the evening. I like running at twilight. I don't know why. About 5:30 when that sun's creeped behind the mountains, go run that mountain. Nothing like it, y'all. But anyways, y'all, I got some things to do. Mama Bear is going to her parents' house, so I got to go to Walmart. I got to go do all the errands. I got to go buy the stuff for the baby. So that's what I'm doing today, y'all. Hope everyone out there has a good day. This is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Later.